viewers, welcome back to Raw Conversation, and we're still on season 3 of Raw Conversation. My name is David, and I'm still your host. And with me, I've got my co-host Anselm. Hello, Anselm.
Hello, David. Hello, everyone.
All right, great. And we've got a guest in the house today. His name is Mo. Mo, do you want to introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
Hi everyone. My name's Mo, Alfamo. I'm a writer, lawyer, filmmaker, wearer of many hats.
You seem to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
All right, great. So on today's episode of Raw Conversation, it's actually a Raw Couch Conversation. So on Raw Couch Conversation, what we do is we'll bring in similar topics and then we'll discuss based on it. And there's been a trending one lately about being in Nigeria and then you're set to have like a side hustle. You can't just do one thing for a living. And apparently, it narrows. I want to narrow it down to an organization, for example. So, is it a right thing to do to have a side hustle while you also have a 9 to 5? But the side hustle you have is a bit related to the normal 9 to 5 job you have, but technically does not state that you guys offer same service. I don't know if that makes any sense. So, for example, I'm going to give an example to this. So, for example, I work with a university, for example, in the UK. And I know that Nigerian students might require test of English to get an admission into the university. Now, if I offer a test of English classes as side hustle, is that a good thing or a bad thing? So do you understand what I mean by side?
Do you mean for you or for the organization? Or?
I mean for the organization, basically.
Well, I'd imagine it depends on the terms of your employment for one, like whatever sort of like contract you signed.
Yeah.
I don't know what the legal ramifications are specifically, but I'd imagine that generally most people tend to do quite a number of things.
Yeah.
In that instance, for you personally, I'd say it's probably a net positive because your two areas of activity positively feedback into each other. It's like a positive feedback loop.
Well, that's just an example, basically. But Anselm, what do you think? I feel there's some ways there's some side hustles that affect the main organization, that affect the main business.
So I'll come from the point of the employer, right?
Yeah.
I employed you for a stipulated time, meaning that you're supposed to give your time,
attention,
your resources, your energy to that. And so if I pay for that time and all of a sudden you get distracted because you have a side hustle,
exactly, that's what I'm going to.
Then it's not ideal for me.
Yeah, because your attention is divided.
Yeah.
Dedication. So, for example, if you sign up 9 to 5 to work for me, I believe that in that 9 to 5 you should be dedicated to what you do between that 9 to 5.
But if the organization is okay with that, it's fine. If the organization is open to encouraging people to have a side hustle,
I mean, which organization really wants you to have side hustles?
No, there are organizations like that.
Really, you do. Well, I know everyone is buying and selling on WhatsApp lately and Instagram, but then I'm talking about. I'm offering a service, and you, as my staff, you've learnt a lot from me. You've learnt my skills.
So that one is ripping off. You're not. Yeah. It's not a side hustle. You just have an integrity issue. That's the problem.
Yeah, and then you're using what you've learnt from me. You're using it to your own advantage, just because I probably do not offer a service that you thought I should be offering, but I don't see a reason why I should offer it.
Doesn't that fall under like non-compete clauses?
Well, no, but Mo, you with all your accent, that non-compete. You're doing
and the lawyer feel he's doing the UK thing. No, we're Nigeria.
You're doing the ideal.
We're talking from the angle of Nigeria.
How many companies even have clauses
non-compete?
Yeah,
no.
I mean, how many companies even have a standard
employment contracts? They're not.
Except
some organizations, you'll be the one to type your offer letter.
I mean, you've seen offer letters, they just come in one single page and then that's it. And none of these clauses are being explained. But I totally feel like it's a rip-off on the company's boss, on the company generally. If you offer the kind of service the company should be offering, I feel...
Okay, what if it's not the same?
That's what I'm saying. If it's not the same, why can't you bring it up to the management as an innovation?
Oh, no.
Like the example you gave, it's complementary. It's complementary. Like you're not necessarily as a lecturer.
Yeah.
You are not providing English English lessons to prospective international students
Yeah.
that might require that, I don't believe you're stepping into the domain or territory of the institution itself. You're not trying to replace.
Well, I'm going to stop you here for a minute. I'm going to
Yeah.
give you one that I really know of.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like the procurement manager, and then this is like a real, like, this is not like, this is a real life situation. You're procurement manager in an organization, and you need vendors that will supply, let's say, computers,
Mm-hmm.
and you've decided to bid for those contracts yourself
Oh,
with the companies you have. Is that ripping off or is side hustle?
conflict of interest. Conflict of interest, I'd imagine.
No. Come, let's calm down.
Oh wait,
Hold on.
wait. Now you've brought in Ansom's company to
Yeah.
come and bid for the contract.
Mhm.
Ansom gets the contract. By the end of it, you're still the one that did the supply. Is that a side hustle or not?
That is ethical. I think that's ethical. That's ethics. That's borderline ethically problematic, I'd imagine.
Do you know what's going on in the UK at the moment regarding the current prime minister is being dragged for a contract won by his wife
Oh.
or something, and then the contract was outsourced. So this is his wife bidded for the contract. Then they didn't give the contract to the wife. Then they gave the contract to another person that bidded on behalf of the wife, and then ended up outsourcing the contract to the wife. And after outsourcing, they started dragging it back and forth.
David, wait, hold
And
on.
then the
hold
law
on.
says that there's nothing wrong in what they've done.
Corruption.
David,
That's
let me-
corruption, exactly my
David,
point.
hold on, David. Let's go straight on this, because the way we are doing it there is like we are doing this prime and property street levels, right? Wait,
follow
street
me.
levels.
Follow me. Talk from street angle.
Yes, street
Yeah.
levels, right? I have an opportunity. I call my own paddy that I want to be a blessing to, and I say, paddy, there's this opportunity, right?
But
Can
you go
come
add
and-
you go add 10 naira on top.
No,
am.
even if I don't add,
No.
the paddy, hold on. Even
If-
if I don't add, and I tell the paddy, right? This is the best, what they call now, the best rates we have now. So if you put it at this, if you peg it at this price, then you get the contract, right? The paddy gets the job and then gives me something like a
wait.
compensation. Say thank you.
I'll stop you there. Your party gets the job. But before your party gets the job, you
Question,
don't
did he-
wait.
did he
now,
execute it
wait
right? Did he
now,
execute it
wait
well?
now. You don't already tell your party say this thing on now 100 naira then they sell them. Yeah. I know the price when they sell them. But the amount where they are approved now 150. So bring your quotation at 140. But the 40 naira on top of it, you give it back to me, cashback, kickbacks. What's that?
No,
Corruption.
David, you're taking it to the extreme. Right?
It has to be extreme.
No, it doesn't have to be extreme.
But
Let's
that's what's happening.
this
The
week-
extreme ones are the ones
let me tell you,
happening.
Number one, I think that if that's the issue, then there's a problem with the recruitment process. That's the
Yeah, it's not a
procurement process.
meritocracy. It's not a meritocracy.
Let's
It's
not like
But
that. We
number
don't
two,
know this.
it's
thing.
nepotism.
Happen.
It's
No,
Have you
nepotism.
seen guys
happens.
working in
If
NGOs
it
in
happens,
Abuja and
question.
everywhere in West
Do they
Africa?
do they deliver on it?
They would definitely deliver, but
So
they've
what's your headache?
so inflating the prices.
They did not inflate the price.
So what did they do?
No, hold on now. The company gave a budget for it, that this is what we want to spend on this project.
Remember that before you come up with the budget, there are so many factors being involved.
But the company shall give a budget that
Yes.
this is what we want to spend.
Uh-huh.
And he said, okay, this is what you want to spend, right?
So you are saying kickbacks is okay? Is that what you're saying? In one word, yes or no?
I believe he's saying that that's
Yes or no?
He's saying that's what it is.
No, I'm asking the question now. Do you
Well,
say kickbacks are okay?
Ideally, no, but like,
Thank you,
let's talk about like what realistically what's
You're
going
a lawyer,
on.
right? Thank you, my lord. That's it. Antom, are you saying before we move on, kickbacks are okay? Yes or no?
I'm saying it depends.
Yeah.
It's not a question of yes or no.
Don't sit on the fence.
No. It's not. It's not something I can say yes or no to. Yeah,
So you support kickbacks?
I don't support any.
Are you against kickbacks?
I'm for standards.
Don't do like
No, I'm
don't
for
do like
standards.
don't do like
If-
our minister for something that
No,
we know.
no.
The one with the cap.
I'm for
Uh-huh.
standards. If you have standards in your organization, keep to it. Keep to the best practice in your organization. That's it.
All right, I'll leave this for now, and then let's talk about money management. Yeah, and then money management as an individual. So, a lot of Nigerians are underpaid. A whole lot of Nigerians are
Grossly.
underpaid, and then you feel like you've not even had enough to hit, and then you're telling me to save. No, be person don't chop, go save. And then you see, let's not lie. You've probably had that encounter with one or two maybe friends, maybe distant friends, maybe people you know by proxy that come up to you and tell you that, oh, they can't come up with their house rent. And then in your head, you think you have a whole year to plan this. How come you're waiting till the last month when you're almost kicked out of the house to talk about
Your house
your
rent.
rent? But then if you look at it, the person is barely making 50k in a month, 100k in a month. I mean, let's look at the jobs out
And
there. How
why
much
can't the person go to a house that he can afford now?
No,
He
no,
moves
no,
to
no,
face my
no,
face you.
no, no. Before we go into that angle of the kind of house you can afford or the
Okay.
one you cannot afford, yeah.
Okay.
What's your take on money management? Let's start with more on this. How you should plan your finances. How you should plan what comes in, what goes out.
Well, de facto, in a country like Nigeria, where I don't know what the statistics are today, but I'd say, and I stand to be corrected, let's say 70% of the population is facing multi-dimensional poverty. I mean, I was watching Arise News earlier today, and someone was giving an example of an individual that was asking for rent.
Yeah.
And he quoted 3,600, and I believe he said, I can't remember what the duration was, but the person that he was asking money for thought it was 3,600 per month, but it was actually 3,600 total. He was living in a shack, paying 300 naira, and it was for the duration. Anyone that's quick with numbers there can do the math, how much or what the time period was.
Yeah.
Long story short, people here, it's Nigeria's tough. The economy's
Yeah.
I don't know like what the,
Not for everybody.
what
No,
the superlative
yeah, well,
is.
not for everybody, but
like worst case, it's really bad. So it actually feeds into what we were talking about earlier about side hustles. If you're lucky enough to be, in the quote unquote 30% of people that aren't affected by multidimensional poverty, even at that, you're still struggling because our money, we're a consumer economy that produces barely nothing. We import a lot. So you have to be competing with international currencies.
we produce something now, though. Human capital. Yes, human capital.
That's our chief resource actually with our population.
And so,
but what I'm saying is essentially that with I think the issue of money management, ties in directly into side hustles because I know like the conventional answers would be like save, invest, all the be practical, cut your code according to your
even the
side.
savings, it really doesn't really appreciate. Look at the dollar situation.
Yeah.
Naira
Yeah.
dollar
Yeah,
situation.
if you're making money in naira, it's like
Yeah, I
compared
mean, so-
2050, you're like there are people now that are objectively poorer than they were 5-10 years ago because they're still making similar amounts. I think it's just recently now that they reviewed civil service salaries or whatever. It's the naira cannot compete. So to answer even your previous question about side hustles, I'd say it's necessary. There is no you can't be doing one thing and survive in Nigeria. You have to find a way to make money in foreign currency.
All right, great. So I'm gonna jump straight to Anselm. Anselm, what's your take? We have less than 7 minutes.
Oh, wow.
I would say
and I just want us
this.
to cover one more topic before.
I would say this for the money management, right?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily about what you earn. It's more about your
I think
habits.
it's a mindset.
I think it's all about having a healthy habit.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
even if I'm earning two bucks, right, 2 naira, 10 naira, if I can be disciplined enough to plan it, management. When you talk about wealth, right, wealth creation, it starts from management. If you can't manage the wealth, your income, then you can't multiply it.
Yeah.
A lot of people jump the aspect of management and want to go into multiplication, but you can't multiply what you can't manage. So even if you say I saved an amount last year and it's going down right this year because of what's happening in dollar, it's the discipline of saving that we are encouraging, the culture, the habit of saving. That's what we are promoting here. So if you're in your 30s and you don't have a savings, you're in trouble.
Okay, so this is going to lead me to the last part of it. So everyone says that Dangote is rich or Tedola is rich. Everybody says, "Oh, I want to be like those. I want to be rich." Even musicians, they sing a lot about it. But the question is this: with the larger population of Nigeria, with the money we earn, it's already established that 9 to 5 cannot make you rich. In most cases, maybe not in all cases.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, maybe not in all cases, but in most cases, 9 to 5 cannot make you rich. However, how do people create wealth, really? I've asked myself that question a million times. Like, how do I move from the level of earning hundreds of thousands to millions, then making hundreds of millions, then to billions and likes of it? A lot of people are even stuck within same. I think I was having a conversation with someone recently, and I said to the person, I said, I've been stuck within a certain figure of money for like 3 years, and I want to move past that figure. Not because I don't have the capacity to move past that figure, not because I'm not putting in the work. As a matter of fact, I've invested much more back into my hustle than before. But then a lot of people are stuck. So what's your take on that?
Well, I feel like we're falling into a trap of idol worship when it comes to pursuing money. Money is a store of value, ultimately, right?
Mm.
So the issue here is value. They've lost the essence. The essence is value, and people are instead worshiping fiat currency. They're worshiping paper. False worship, essentially. So, long story short, money, wealth creation, wealth generation is about value proposition. It's about solving problems. Mm-hmm. It's about service. You know, my mom used to say, you know, if you follow your passion, follow what you know. If you find something that's useful, if you solve problems.
I'm going to take that back to the street real quick. I mean, people will say follow your passion.
Nah, I'm not for that.
No, I'm not talking about passion.
You follow passion, you'll be broke. Oh.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, because a lot of people are following that passion and they're broke. I mean, I legitimately know someone.
I'm not.
And someone knows the person I want to talk about, but I won't mention the person's name. This guy has been following passion and he's extremely broke.
Yeah.
He's a singer. He wants to sing.
What passion does, passion allows you to, because part of like, in order to be useful, in order to serve, in order to provide solutions, you have to have stamina, you have to have resilience.
You create it
passion
now.
Passion is a fuel.
No,
passion is a fuel.
no,
It allows you. Pardon?
You can create your passion. You jump into something you don't like, you create the passion there, you do it.
Right. If you, like I'm saying, if you have a passion for service, if you have a passion for creating value, there is no way you'll be broke. It's impossible.
And so much your take.
That's the difficult part, though, is negating selfish interests for what is about the good of the collective.
Answer.
I think you need to just understand your terrain, the territory you're in. What works in, you know, I see people read books like Robert Kiyosaki's book and all that, which is a fantastic book, but some principles are not applicable here.
Yeah.
Some things when it gets here is a totally different game. So let's talk about Nigerian context. Who you know matter. Let's be real. Who you know matter. Who you know ain't go open the door for you.
I swear.
Right.
I won't go up. You don't go stress.
So you need to be a person that is relational. If you're not good with relationships, then it means you can't go far in any field. You can't go far. So you need to improve your relationship skills. You need to your people skill, your sales skill. You need to be a salesperson.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like it or not, you need to know how to sell your stuff, whatever it is.
I mean, a friend of mine was in an interview and he was asked, "How do you sell cigarettes when you don't even smoke?" And that's it. How do you sell sachets without someone that drinks bottled water? And that's what I think you should be able to do as a person.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be rounding up very soon, but I would like to know one thing.
Okay.
How did you make your first 1 millionaire? I mean, 1 millionaire is like 100,000 these days, yeah. But I'm sure the time you made your first 1 million was long ago. I think I made my own 1 millionaire, my first 1 millionaire from a Ponzi scheme. So I'm not advising you to do Ponzi, but I think I made my first 1 million from a Ponzi scheme, and I think it was it Money Solution or something? And then all those ones you put 100,000 to get 1 million. I can't remember how the story went, but that's how I made my first 1 millionaire anyway. So, how did you make yours?
Well, me personally, like as a lump sum, part-time work whilst I was a student.
You made $1 million from part-time work.
Well, I mean, it's part of what we're talking about, you know, how bad the situation is here. Like, essentially right now, I don't know what the exact figures are, but like £1,000 is more or less $1 million. Maybe £1,200, £1,300. So, I mean, if you're earning minimum wage abroad, you do the math. You can see if you're doing.
Okay, yeah. Speaking from the angle of someone that's in foreign currency.
Well, so that's it. Yeah. I mean, at the very least.
And you made your own first 1 million in Nigeria. How did you make it?
First million, I sold a car.
For someone,
yeah. That too.
I sold a car.
About that.
Yeah,
I did that at the point actually.
Yeah, I sold a car. I think that was the first, but other times I've done some
million
things to
thing.
make the money. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got to park the bus here. Like Pace behind the camera will say that I always like say we'll park the bus. So we're parking the bus here for today. And
Like Chelsea.
okay, we're not going to go into that conversation right now.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on the show. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Thank you for having me.
You've heard it all. You know what you need to do. Like, subscribe, and share. See you on next episode. Boy.